So this is give me all the other in the trial side we are doing potential exchange into is the real-time collaboration. Many teams can multi-area can be work together side by side. The efficiency increase the innovation. A lot right now is everybody duplicate each other, doesn't know each other, so make a mistake again. Okay. So this is, for example, you have multiple, one practitioner can be a multiple team in US, in China, in Switzerland, all work the same design. And this is the same semiconductor design. There's so many partners. You can all work in the real-time collaborative advanced semiconductor design real problem. Very quick, accurate time to market. The same way all the software here had to go through, you can control, monitor them automatically on the internet, on cloud. So when deliver a service, I give you a spec. You're coming out at a test chip and essentially deliver to me. Today, it's all by human being running on back and forth. So a chip maybe take 3 years to do, maybe done 1 year. So this is the productivity coming out through the cloud trial side. And then in the trial side, now you can see Alibaba and in China already start going to this called collaborative product congress. So when you do the bidding, selling the commerce and product on the internet, experts join in to do the collaborative, and very quickly get into what you need instead of back and forth. So this is summarized what I mean by this new economy on the internet. This is because of the latest meltdown with the new perspective to the world. Everybody had to think about what exactly the balance and development between have and have not. This is the one, the poor and the rich become so far away, you need to readjust. Either by God definition or by natural definition, it's happening. So this is very important that we had to remember. And golden opportunity to take leadership in emerging new economy on the internet, no matter who. United States doesn't have ownership. Okay, this is a new economy level. Every country can join in or own a piece of it. Then the way you look at the difference that can happen is pervasive information access to reduce the digital divide. Okay, once to be a ownership of the only rich country, now everybody, even in the Africa kids, can participate in innovation, create a very beautiful music, can sell on the cloud and everybody. So I don't know you know about the story, a 18 years old United States boy and bought an iPhone and he started using blow the whistle and start writing a little application and put it on there. A few months later, he made about $1 million. Everybody buy it. And pretty soon the other kids to buy it, then become melody. Okay, so this is a different logic. This is economic. So we want to is provide this cloud for every soul. As long as you can have talent, you can participate in innovation. Now this becomes massive innovation platform. When you have massive innovation, then you become quickly able to get the next level intelligence on the world. So this is a massive innovation platform to accelerate the new economy. Global healthcare market side, just this one is already more than multiple $1 trillion. Obama just announced they want to do it in one country. So other area can be multiple $1 trillion market. So this huge market you can serve by cloud computing simultaneously. So, for example, now I have another area. Let me talk about. You are interested to see this. How do we do with the cloud to serve this one? Okay. So this is a normal life. Now we also have to worry about what happened is why cloud can help this problem. Very simple. You carefully read with me. Because the cloud has tremendous real-time, these are keywords, continuously massive data collection. Before you cannot. So you collect something and do something and forget about. For example, if you want to catch a thief, you videotape the heck of it, but if the system is so small, you either blow up the system or drop it out. So when you come back 2 weeks later or 2 months later, it's gone. So this is the problem cannot handle by typical system. So if you capture these words, real-time, continuous, massive data collection, and then coupled with this huge cloud, you can do a real-time continuous modeling analysis. Okay, this is the second level now. You continue to get the data in, continue modeling, and you continue to make decisions instantaneously. So real-time decision-making for alert and rescue. So these three chain events allow cloud to be able to offer solution which you cannot offer before. Okay, for example, Taiwan mudslide, AA. This is very dangerous. But the mudslide actually, because the first, they don't have enough sensor all place. The second one, they don't have enough sophisticated model to calculate the moisture level. So if you let time, if China and Taiwan work together, China, because the weather doesn't have a boundary, right? All the weather are going on across the strait on both sides. So what happened, Taiwan had to cut in half, do a little bit here. So that's why they cannot accurately predict how suddenly so much moisture. 3 days dump the whole year's moisture into the certain area. So if you have this continuous modeling with a tremendous embedded detector on the mudslide or river level, it's all continue coming out. So you model and you make decision at a certain time, you move the people, okay, first. So after that one, the government becomes so overreact. The second one comes, they move everybody away. Doesn't matter whether they have it. So become overreact. So it's not properly react. Okay, so the same thing also because they can do a modeling, very natural phenomena similar. You can do a distributed parallel and collaborative computing model in the same on the SuperGrid. Before you can only one city, one Beijing or Taipei. You cannot do all the city together simultaneously. Okay, Beijing has some problem too. A few years ago, when the typhoon Masa landed in China from Taiwan, they say, wow, this is dangerous. This is the moisture from the ocean model and a lot of ocean water. So it may flood Beijing. So ended up they pre-decide without a model, without help to release all the water they store in the reservoir. It's $1 billion renminbi bought the water. So all pay for it, then release it. And then, unfortunately, the typhoon didn't land. Halfway, they disappear. So this is an example. Again, you don't have enough model to compute accurately. So you cannot track the path. So that's the problem. With this grid, you can track you real time whether you end up, then you do the decision. You're fast enough. So this is the kind of give you a general idea why the difference here. Okay, then parallel for the pervasive, ubiquitous, highly productive innovation. This is very important. When you start to get this kind of environment, many solutions come out. It's many people can sing at the same time. So now it's just a few people make decisions. Actually, many algorithms, many solvers can come from the massive innovation. Okay, so what it really means is with this kind of human productivity and innovation can be hundreds or 1,000 times faster, higher, quicker. Most of the time right now, we are kind of, each one of us, I have something, I want to do work on that. I don't want that you know. And you have something, you're saying you don't want let me know. We're hiding from each other. We may be working the same thing. And I may make a mistake, and you may mistake too. So I don't know what you do. With this platform, we can be openly compete, but openly help each other, sharing. This is exactly why ended up you reduce the human improductivity and make a lot of mistakes disappear. Okay, so I think this is fundamental is a human productivity increase because of cloud computing. So I can see Africa kids can jam session the musician music pieces with the Chinese kids, with the American kids, simultaneously on the cloud and come up with beautiful music. Immediately can release. Okay, so this become possible and not possible before. So all this problem, you can see it. I think with this continuous monitoring here, you can help to get the early release and the frozen. This is the 2 years ago in China. The problem, frozen almost 4 states disabled for almost 2 months. Okay, so the flood, mudslide, this all can be solved by this massive remote sensing. So even they talk about hurricane, we can control hurricane. If we know enough, we can monitor fast enough, we can change the direction and do something about. Right now we don't have enough, so just let him come. Whatever he come, may come. Okay. You know the Beijing Olympic, Oh, I mean, it's the recently, October 1st, they have a national holiday, right? You have all the major events. You know, everybody look, wow, blue sky. Actually, they do a lot of work behind the scene. They're probably shooting on the sky 400, what do you call, the artificial gun, and to really change the cloud. The cloud, before they come close, they kill it. Essentially, let them drop over there. Essentially, change event. So that event becomes so beautiful. Otherwise, a cloudy day, the airplane cannot fly. That would be dangerous. So this is one example. You have the good model, you can do something. Because now we can say this is Earth, we can get so much fine-tuned detail data element, the data can gather continuously from satellite or something. This because allow us to do the very, very accurate model. We can know how thick it is, what it is. Before we don't have this opportunity. Now, earthquake the same way. You have a tremendous sensor embedded in the underground, deeper, for example, 1,000 meter deep or 2,000 meter deep. And with the constant monitoring, you can avoid all this problem. This is the example, the Sri Lanka before the tsunami. This is the beautiful, how beautiful, and this is after that. This is the natural disaster caused us. We can avoid that if we can. So we can charter the Earth's interior. What's it mean? With tremendous grids, we can charter really underneath the grid, which plate can move. Right now, nobody has bigger enough, can only do partial, so nobody can big enough impact. Because the earthquake, when you have hit here, can move over there, can be 3,000 kilometers away. And if you accumulate in the data, today we have already, but nobody has bigger enough computer can solve it. So that's why everybody only do bits and pieces. And the same thing, epidemic. You can predict modeling all the major diseases. Some of them even environment induced. You never know what's happening. And you can predict it. You can see how the pattern move. Within 1 week, 2 weeks, where they go. So you can occupy them. Now, man-made disease. This is really man-made, human-made disaster because of the engineering mistake, right? So disaster have many kinds, and this is a man-made disease and problem. We use so much oil, gas. Now we are giving our overdose for this problem. So now we try to solve. Copenhagen, so now let's solve that problem. Think interesting. Copenhagen, China, US had 5% of whole world population, use up 25% resource, including all this oil. China has 25% of China's whole world population, and use up how much? If you don't contain them, they'll be worse. The whole world, if China come out, nobody have enough left anymore. So what's left? You have to fight, battle each other. So this is the concept that we don't know about, but it's coming. So we have to solve a problem. But unfortunately, Copenhagen, what they do is, let's capture them. Now, whoever, China and the United States, you emit the CO2, I grab them, spend a lot of energy to capture them and store in the ocean. That's not a fundamental approach. The problem is how to capture them naturally by all the green or the tree or the forest and the soil. This is where we need to go back. And this is man-made also. The the oil spill. They can simulate know how far they're going to go. So this kind of thing can be done by the cloud computing. And the last thing about the man-made design is war. If you don't solve the problem, people will fight. You know, pirates in the ocean right now show up. Okay, you are rich people. I don't have money, so I want to steal your ocean liner to kidnap it. So what someone may think someone else worry about it. Should we worry about? And most of the people say, oh, somebody else take care. I had no idea, so I should live today. Okay, whatever I can make some money, I make some. But whatever you make money, you buy a house there, maybe someday will be gone. Just like when I was in Bahrain, they told me, Arabian, 6 GCC countries lost half or 60% of their real estate worth. That's $1 trillion, $10 trillion beyond. So what happened? They all invest in real estate in Dubai. You know, order to buy a big funny thing, beautiful thing, they're all broken. Now, nobody there anymore, so they're broken. So all the money is stored there. And now they say, oh, boy, holy mackerel, real estate is not real. Maybe we should think about high technology. Used to be high tech, it's very risky, real estate. Now they are thinking about your more different thing now, instead of buying a big tower, okay? So everybody thinks of somebody else's problem. So this is not stable. It's not sustainable. Just think about China and US. Obama will be in China next month. Actually, this month, already there. They have to fight each other, say, you should say something. I should say something. So we can all look good in the rest of the country. But that doesn't help the problem. This just get the very surface problem. So we need is, on Earth, humanity is at stake. If we don't solve the problem, either start the war. They kill each other to get the resource. Or you have to, all kinds of problem coming down. So should we worry about? I think we should worry about, because we are not come here just for fun of live and die. So if we don't do it, so we should do something about. So what I suggest is, how can we do it? So let's do something together to change its course before it's too late. This is my belief. We have to do something. That's why also Earth and New Blue Earth. We all have to gather. And many people think about this problem, but all individuals think about themselves. They don't link together. It's not mainstream. The mainstream is always the Copenhagen, something like that, a big government politician. Actually, the world has many people like this. Just we discover, I recently had so many people come to me, Steve, can I join you? Okay, yes, we need to absorb these people to form a single force, a mainstream force, a voice coming out. Otherwise, I think the Earth is really in trouble. So, just careful. I believe we need to provide an alternative and fundamental approach to CO2, Copenhagen. Because while Copenhagen is important, but it's not solving the fundamental problem. Okay. Now, so open platform, we need to open the platform for theory and practice for massive people to participate. We need many people participate. It's not single person can do it. So we need to open a big platform for many people on the cloud computing platform can exchange idea, change the design and whatever. And we need to start with the multi-ethnic side in Western China to build first model. Why? Because China government at least have, if they believe it, they can push fast, just like build a highway. But if I go to some other country, I don't know them, it's tough. So we decided to say, this first, they do in the Western side. In the meantime, I am in the Western side for the multi-racial. So I think that we're going to suggest the government China to also support this kind of this mandate idea to build, take the big pieces of Western side or Mongolia, Guangzhou, all this minority area. We take the big pieces, one city, 1 million people. We redesign the whole eco community with that's in mind. So if we're successful, we should be able to adapt and replicate Africa, South America, Middle East, and North Europe as soon as possible. Not waiting for 5 years. Right, China is already going. Another area immediately follow through. So this is why we are hopefully this Blue Earth, we can start get the message out. We can get a lot of join in this effort. Apply the technology, humanity, and economy simultaneously. Not just for technology, for economies, also for humanity. So you can see my all design is for really help to get the good stuff into the poor area for them to, because each one of them can be a talent. The more talent come out, the more we can be solvable our future problem. Sustainable and balanced with nature in eco planning. We need to make sure we design this eco community, the big pieces, we can sustainable. Plus, they can, all this area can be survive in various natural disasters. Had to design in, right in the beginning, okay? And build a mutual sharing, loving, trust. This is including very important social value in community and the culture. That's very important. If you redesign the city, it doesn't matter. People move in and still don't know each other. You know what happened? Just go back to the same thing like today. So what we need to do, I was joking, and it's not joking. Cerebral research, I'm trying to design, for example, the game we have for kids, start from kids. You play Monopoly. Everybody play Monopoly. We teach the kids with the game. Everybody fight with the buy the house, buy here. Then I end up so many houses in my hand, I win. Okay, so we need to design another game. We give something, we become plus point. We take somebody, we become minus. And this become a new social value game. You can train the kids. The kids, for example, this is the real, have a practical value. When we get older, our kids all gone, all running around their own fair. Who will take care of us? Who will take care of you? If you have a younger generation, no matter who they are, they come to do the job for you, to do the home service for you, because he earned his volunteer score, a scorecard. And this scorecard will be kept in the cloud forever, forever. When you're young, you do the volunteer, you keep 10 points. You watch the car for you, you get how many points. When this kid become older, then he can enjoy other people. So this is just like other game, but it's a gift. You share the load and become positive. So we need, I think we can design this game for the kids to enjoy themselves, okay, and then change the social value. Because if you only solve the rest of the problem, you don't solve the main mindset problem, you still doesn't solve the problem. Because everybody still fight. Okay, so we want to do is rebuild this value in the community's culture and cohesive green design for water, energy, carbon, soil, food, and sewage, especially soil. Now I believe you have to do not just CO2 capture, you do a soil rebuild, the soil back to the natural state. I'm going to show you some real case in China already done. It's possible as long as you do it. Community infrastructure can survive natural state. It's great that we're using the cloud to provide pervasive, massive, ubiquitous, and cost-effective healthcare, education. All the information service should be done in a single platform, so you can collaborate. Okay, and also connect this town, this eco community, to the next door, and to the world. So that whatever you produce, you can sell. With a poor guy in a Yunnan minority can do a very beautiful local design because beautiful their background, they can sell in the cloud. Immediately $10 or $100 instead of right now $1. And they cannot survive themselves, then they lost all the privilege of a culture in their life. So this is will enable all those things. So allow to connect to high productive innovation economy worldwide, environment change, rescue system. For example, once you have here, anything happening, the worldwide can have a message coming at the same time. You can the alert system will come out much earlier than today. You can see, oh, that guy has something happening. We can think about, should I go there, help them? This is too late. Okay, it's not good enough. Okay, so hope eventually enjoy safe and clean environment, productively and innovate community, humanity, enlightening social life. This is the end goal. And this is actually human intelligence level able to come to the next level. So I'm not going to go in. This is all the this all the potential. This is the human brain structure we can study, and this is a gene study, and this can be a space vehicle for this kind of cloud computing where so many innovators can join it together to design. And this can be a non-patrol airplane, can know in the future, and it can allow us to go much farther without gravity change. This can be a different kind of space station with much more higher level design. And so this is the brain connection. This is the third brain we need to simulate. Now, we can learn a lot from a human brain. Right now, we haven't discovered yet. And we can know this brain disease detection. I detect once, I know what the problem it is. And furthermore, we can detect, and we can train people to get higher level intelligence. In our brain, in our body, we have a different level of consciousness. We can start to get the higher level. And we can, back in the future, understand more. All this is just waiting for us to explore. And we become turning on, turning in, get enlightened. With this kind of cloud environment, we can help each other, share each other, and love each other, much bigger environment. So finally, we have a soul, higher level conscience. Hope our human can break through it. Our human right now is very limited. The more I learn, the more I think I know everything. Actually, the more I think I learn. I know little. So this is the really hiding in our body. We need to really get through that. So let me show you a very quick clips. This was the second trial site already happening in China. So the first one you see is my trial site, multiple location. This is the trial site, specifically work on the soil environment. So this is the Huangtu Gaoyuan in the middle of China. Okay? And this is the one used to be people say, hey, damn it, this is 1,000 years no the dust, sandstorm area. And this is the water they see. This is dust. They start digging. This is the water, very poor. Those areas typically very poor. And sandstone, the same area. And they start looking around, what we should do with these pieces, okay? They decide that we're not going to give up. We're going to turn this thing into green. So they start digging. There's the people back of mind. We're going to start the changing world along this area. Building, helping each other, work together, side by side. Instead of building the Great Wall, they're building their own homeland. Now it's in progress. Now the kids happier. Now you can see it's getting green. Now it's getting planting a tree, maybe a fruit tree. Now you see something grow up. Now finally you see 8 years. From that piece become this piece. Change the whole landscape or the whole China. And this is today. Can you imagine that? And this is the tree where they grow their eye. And this is the choice we have. Either we want to turn this into here or this into behind, just like this. Another 100 years, this will be so bad, no way you come back. There are certain reflection point, you cannot come back anymore. And China has a lot of places like this in Western China. As long as you have annually wet, the rainfall, 200 millimeter, you can do it. And China and Western China have a lot of places like this. Just nobody teaches them how to do it. So what happened, they keep harvesting, then they move around one area, become poorer and poorer, and the land becomes useless. So we can go back to pick up pieces in Western China. Once we get funding from we'll do that. So this is the United States, happened in the United States. In the Depression area, US had the same problem. You know what? It's the people live in China and US. So US decide, Civilian Conservation Corps, very famous, decided we're going to do something instead of dying with it. 1933 to 42, they done it. This is the beginning of that generation. So, I'm done. So the choice is us. We have to either see somebody else's job or we all work together to make a difference. So I think we can make a difference there because I have done myself many years. And 3 years ago, 4 years ago, nobody knew what the health record means. And the government people say, hey, you are stupid. This is a government job. Why you want to do it? I say, I just want to do something. I try something. If successful, government will help you to push it. Eventually, government had to do it. But we managed successful. 4 years now, government become their policy. They become success. I will be happy to move on to bigger picture to equal community with the Sonia. Okay? Thank you.